For Pacifica Radio, I'm Scott Baba. President Donald Trump says his 25% tariffs on Canada and Mexico are coming on Saturday. Trump also said he'll probably decide whether to include oil from those countries as part of his import taxes. Trump says his decision will be based on whether the price of oil charged by the two trading partners is fair, although the basis of his threatened tariffs pertains to stopping illegal immigration and the smuggling of chemicals used for fentanyl. The organization representing families of hostages held in the Gaza Strip is celebrating the news that 3 male hostages would be released this weekend as part of the ceasefire agreement between Israel and Hamas. Israeli officials said that the 3 hostages will be released Saturday in the 4th round of exchanges in the ceasefire deal that has paused fighting in Gaza. The hostages' families forum said today that it, quote, welcomes the joyous news. Yesterday, Hamas released 8 hostages in exchange for 110 Palestinian prisoners held by Israel. The chaotic sight of armed fighters escorting Israeli hostages through a crowd of thousands of onlookers caused Israeli leaders to briefly delay the release of the Palestinian prisoners. A Ugandan health official says a nurse in the capital of Kampala has died of Ebola in the first recorded fatality since the country's last outbreak ended in 2023. Michael Balanke reports.
Health authorities in Uganda have reported the death of a nurse who had sought treatment in several medical facilities after showing fever-like symptoms. Samples taken after the death confirmed the presence of the Sudan Ebola virus disease. Senior public health experts from the World Health Organization have been deployed to support key outbreak response measures. Additionally, WHO has allocated $1 million from its contingency fund for emergencies to provide medical supplies, including personal protective equipment and vaccines. This is the 8th outbreak of Ebola virus disease in Uganda. The previous outbreak in September 2022 resulted in 55 deaths from over 140 confirmed cases.
And that was Michael Balanke reporting. President Donald Trump's most controversial cabinet nominees flooded the zone yesterday in back-to-back confirmation hearings. Conspiracy theories about vaccines, secret meetings with dictators, an enemies list. It was a blockbuster showing like nothing the Senate has seen in modern memory. Robert F. Kennedy Jr., Tulsi Gabbard, and Kash Patel all face grilling over their views and promises in testy exchanges. Kennedy, nominated for Health and Human Services Secretary, insisted to senators that he's not anti-vaccine, but he repeatedly refused to acknowledge scientific consensus that childhood vaccines don't cause autism and that COVID-19 vaccines saved millions of lives, falsely asserted the government has no good vaccine safety monitoring, and suggested black people need different vaccines than white people. Kash Patel emerged as perhaps the most combative nominee in a testy hearing before the Senate Judiciary Committee as the nominee to lead the FBI, where he sparred with Democrats over his own past words, writings, and public comments, such as claims of voter fraud in the 2020 election and his published political enemies list. And Tulsi Gabbard faced a barrage of questions about her past comments on Syria, Russia, foreign surveillance, and President Donald Trump at her confirmation to be the nation's intelligence chief. Divers are expected to return to the Potomac River as part of the recovery and investigation after the United States' deadliest aviation disaster in almost a quarter century. Investigators have already recovered the cockpit voice recorder and flight data recorder of the American Airlines plane that collided Wednesday with an Army helicopter as the plane was landing at Ronald Reagan National Airport next to Washington, D.C. All 67 aboard the 2 aircraft were killed. Recovery efforts continue today. Officials are scrutinizing a range of factors, including the actions of the military pilot. Air crash investigations can take months, and federal investigators told reporters yesterday that they would not speculate on the cause. But some theories are starting to emerge. Mitch McCann has more.
In the control tower at DCA National Airport, one person was reportedly doing 2 jobs. So this person was managing the traffic for both helicopters and planes. And it has to be said, it's been widely reported for some time here that the US government and the Federal Aviation Administration are having a lot of difficulty trying to hire air traffic controllers. It is a specialized job. It takes a long time to train, and they are really understaffed in the United States at the moment. We've also been hearing reports from the New York Times that are quoting sources that have been suggesting the Black Hawk helicopter may have been flying higher than it was allowed to do so by air traffic control. So there are two key pieces of information here. Mitch McCann, New York.
For Pacifica Radio, I'm Scott Baba.